So, in what was probably the single worst decision, I don't really care about the ad block, in the history of, well, basketball decisions. I think this is actually one of the worst decisions in the history of basketball. The Aces effectively lost their unbeatable super team and are now being sued because of it. And this is the whole Derek Hamby situation when it came to the Aces. This has lost the Aces first round picks. This has lost the Aces a bit like a lot of stuff on the basketball court. This has lost the Aces their all-star, 5th all-star. The Aces could be going out there with 4 Team USA or 5 Team USA players. They actively chose this. And why? Because Derek Hamby got pregnant. They said it wasn't in their plans that she got pregnant. Either way, if you guys are new to the channel, subscribe. And if you guys agree with this, by the way, if you guys agree that this is absolute nonsense, if you guys agree this is absolutely an absolute joke on behalf of the Aces, subscribe. But Derek Hamby, it says right here, LA Sparks forward Derek Hamby has filed a lawsuit against the WNBA and her former team, the Aces. The complaint, filed to the U.S. District Court, alleges repeated acts we hope you appreciate. Oh. Screw it. Let's just get this from here. She's officially filed a federal lawsuit detailing the repeated acts of intimidation, discrimination, retaliation that culminated in January 2023, with the Aces trading Hamby because the star forward was pregnant. NBA or WNBA at its core, workplace federal laws have long shielded pregnant women from termination on the job. World champion Aces exiled Derek Hamby for becoming pregnant. And that is 100% true. Like, that's entirely on Becky Hammon. And, like, what she had done was completely in the wrong. Like, if you're looking, the worst part is Derek Hamby was 6th Woman of the Year 2 years in a row. And then, after being 6th Woman of the Year, was, as a starter, All-Star. And a champion in one of those 2 years. And then they traded her. They traded Derek Hamby. And you're seeing it right here. Where she was traded to the Los Angeles Sparks for alongside a pick. They literally gave up a first round pick as well. They gave up a first round pick and Hamby in order to get that. I'm guessing that's where the Sparks got one of those 2 picks from at the start of the draft. They also lost their first round pick. They didn't have one. I don't think they have one in 2025 either. So they've already been punished and now they're being sued. And look, the funniest part about this all is that Derek Hamby played last season. They literally traded her. They traded her and she played. She missed, I want to see, did she miss any games at all? Like, obviously, so this season she's played 24 games, averaging 19, 20 and 10 basically. But she played all 40 games last season. She's going to win Most Improved Player this season. She played all 40 last year as a Team USA player and was an All-Star 2 seasons before. It was the most games she played. She missed exactly 0 games for being pregnant, and they still traded her. And, like, they also lost a whole bunch of stuff, and they're going to be sued now. The Aces are in a horrible, horrible way. And it's not like this is even, like, a debate. It's not even like they suspended Becky Hammon after this. Aces stripped the first round pick. Becky Hammon suspended. Where is it? What Becky Hammon says? I don't know. Supposedly Becky Hammon basically said that we gave you an extension and we didn't plan for you to be pregnant and then traded her. So the Aces, instead of just doing what other teams have done and just not fired her, like, as bad as the Mercury were, the Mercury did not let Skylar Diggins into their facilities. They still paid her. They didn't ship her off. They still went and paid her because that's the way the rules are. The rules state that you can't just do what they did. So they paid Skylar Diggins. Skylar Diggins obviously went to Seattle, but all is forgiven. No, there was no real wrongdoing. You could argue that they screwed her over, which they did. Like, they absolutely screwed over Skylar Diggins, but they at least paid her and didn't ship her off. especially in a league where this is clearly against the rules. I want to see what the comments are saying on Reddit. Good for her. Interest to see who was involved. Becky Hammond. It names Hammond, the GM, and it calls out Becky Hammond. So it seems to be Becky Hammond. Reading over the filings, it implies broader coordinations. The suit alleges the Aces issued a directive to players and staff to cease communications with Hamby, attempted to wrongfully obtain confidential medical records from Hamby after informing her she was no longer a member of the Aces, given a directive to video personnel at September 17, 2023 game, prohibiting the showing of her daughter on the arena's video screen. That's petty. That's so petty. And again, the worst part is that we've already seen the WNBA be punished. Or we've already seen the Aces be punished. So we know the Aces did something really freaking wrong. Like, we know, like, considering how valuable some of these picks are, and how valuable, like, a lot of the stuff is in general in the league, you can tell that the Aces, like, the WNBA does not, or, like, they would not have gone this far on the Aces if they had done nothing. But yeah, Hamby, to be fair, Hamby's come out of this looking better. She's the 11th player in Unrivaled. I don't think necessarily there's any bad blood between Hamby and the Aces players. I don't think there is anyway. But this is the biggest L in the history of basketball for the Aces. Has it ever happened where you have traded away an All-Star and got back nothing, and while trading away that All-Star, you lost multiple first-round picks, were fined, your coach got suspended, and now you're being sued? I don't think anyone has taken a bigger L in the history of basketball than this. Like, this is worse than, for example, making a bad trade. Because if you make a bad trade, you can always argue, they didn't know it was going to be this bad. But you gave away your back-to-back All-Star and a pick for nothing because you were pissed off that she got pregnant. Broke the rules in the freaking process of doing that. And now you've lost first-round picks and now you're getting sued. And I'm telling you, the Ace, as great as AJ Wilson is, I think the Aces championship window might not be. To be fair, I think once 2026 happens, it probably opens back up again because they can probably pay more. Their owner cares more. There's more brand deals, and you're going to be playing with AJ Wilson. But yeah, I'd be worried. I'd be worried if I was an Aces fan, not for the long-term future, because I think as long as AJ Wilson's there, you're fine. As long as AJ Wilson and Jackie Young are playing for the Aces, you're going to be fine. But not necessarily short term, but it's like the Liberty's future is so much brighter because with the Liberty losing Vandersloot, they've still got that ability to pay Fibic. Maureen Johannes is going to come over on a minimum, and you can then go and pay another max contract. Like, everybody talking about these max players going to some teams, like teams that have max slots. People forget the Liberty have a max slot with Vandersloot gone, which is scary. Scary times for the league. Anyway, that's the video. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.